Hello class, this is lesson 5-1 titled Writing Equations in Slope-Intercept Form. The slope we know is m, and the y-intercept is the variable b. And those are the only two things you need to write the equation y equals mx plus b. And that is our slope-intercept form. So first let's focus on the slope. If you have a picture with a line that is drawn, you just need to look at it and you can count the rise, which is how far up or down it is going, compared to the run, which is how far it is going left or right. If you don't have a picture, but if you have 2 points, you can use the slope formula. y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. For the y-intercept, again, if you have a picture, it's very straightforward. You can just look at the line and you're just going to ask yourself, where does the line cross or intersect the y-axis? And that is the y-intercept. But if you don't have a picture, maybe you have a point where the x value is 0. Well, the y value then is going to be your y-intercept. But a third possibility might occur where you do not have either one of those, but you have another point, x comma y, and you're given the slope. And so you're going to plug both of those into the form y equals mx plus b, and you're going to solve for b. So let's practice that now. We're going to write an equation of the line passing through -8, -6 that has a slope of -1/2. So I'm going to start by writing out the y equals mx plus b, and I know my m, it is -1/2, so I can plug that in. And for the x and the y values, I have -8, -6, so I can plug those in as well. So here we go. -6 is equal to -1/2 times -8 plus b. That's what we're solving for. -1/2 times -8 is +4. And then I can subtract 4 on both sides, and I find that my b is equal to -10. So I'm almost done. Now that I have the m and the b, I can rewrite my new formula. Y is equal to -1/2 x minus 10. And that's it. Pretty straightforward. This next time, we're told to write the equation of the line passing through 0, -4 with a slope of 5. So I know the slope, and look at that. The point that we're given automatically gives us the y-intercept. So my formula then is y equals 5x minus 4. And I'm done. So now let's move on to where we have 2 points. And we're going to write the equation of the line that's passing through 2, 4 and -4, 10. So let's use our slope formula. 10 minus 4 over -4 minus 2. That leaves me with 6 over -6, which simplifies to -1, and that's my slope. And now I'm going to plug that slope and one of the points into the slope-intercept form. So it doesn't matter which point I pick. I'm just going to pick the first one, the 2, 4. Okay, so let's go ahead and plug those in. I have 4 is equal to -1 times 2 plus b. And that simplifies to 4 is equal to -2 plus b. So I'm going to add 2 to both sides, and I find that my b is equal to 6. So now that I have my slope and I have the y-intercept, I can put them together. Y equals -x plus 6. And I'm done. All right, let's go ahead and do this again. I have 2 points, 1.2, -0.7, and -3.4, 1.6. So I'm going to subtract those y values on top, and then I'm going to subtract the x values on the bottom. 1.6 plus 0.7 is 2.3, and -3.4 minus 1.2 is -4.6. I'm going to divide both of these by 2.3 so that I can simplify my fraction. When I do that, I'm left with -1/2. So look at that. All right, let's go ahead and pick one of our points now to plug in to our formula with our slope. So I think I'm just going to go ahead and pick the first point, 1.2 comma negative 0.7, and I'll plug those in. So here we go. Negative 0.7 is equal to negative 1/2 times 1.2 plus b, and 1/2 of 1.2 is 0.6, so that's negative 0.6. I'm going to add 0.6 to both sides of my equation, and that leaves me with negative 0.1 for my b. Okay, so look at that. Now I have my slope and I have my y-intercept, but I'd like to keep it consistent to either have them both be decimals or both be fractions, so I'm just going to turn them both into fractions. So my final formula, y equals negative 1/2 x minus 1/10, and I'm done. All right, we're going to do one more problem together. Maya's baking recipe says to turn down the temperature for part of the baking time. Write an equation if the temperature drops 25 degrees every 30 seconds, and after 2 minutes, the temp is at 350 degrees. So I'm going to begin by just highlighting some important information. And what I'm looking for is I'm looking for the slope, but also a point. So if I choose minutes to represent my x variable and degrees to represent my y variable, I can create a point, the 2 minutes, comma, 350 degrees Fahrenheit. So there's my starting point. And this purple phrase that I highlighted is really telling us the slope or the rate. It is dropping, so that means negative 25 degrees every 30 seconds. But I want to represent this in degrees compared to minutes, so that's the same as 1/2 a minute. And if I'm going to turn this into just an integer, negative 25 times the reciprocal 2/1 is equal to negative 50. So that is my slope. So now I have a point, 2, 350, and I have the slope, negative 50, that I'm going to plug into my slope-intercept form to find my y-intercept. So here we go. Negative 50 times 2 is negative 100. I'm going to add 100 to both sides, and then I find that my y-intercept, or my b, is 450. So now I'm almost done. Let's put them together. Y is equal to negative 50x plus 450. So this formula here represents the temperature that's going to be dropping based on the number of minutes that it is in the oven. So hopefully this lesson made sense to you, but if you have any questions, like always, please let me know when you come into class.